Hello and welcome to the Seniors Lead Show. My name is Tia Demo, and this afternoon we have my auntie, a friend, Mrs. Nomsa Maromo. And tonight, this afternoon, we'll just be chatting generally about life and see what wisdom we can get from our seniors. So you're welcome, Mrs. Maromo, to the Seniors Lead Show.
Thank you, T, for having me. I'm so excited.
That wasn't a good introduction per se. So, for those who do not know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, that's nice. I came to Canada in 2004, coming from the US, and I grew up in Zimbabwe. And I had been married. Actually, last on Sunday, this Sunday, we celebrated our 41 years of marriage with my dearest husband, Daniel. And we have 3 grandkids. We have 3 children, adult children. And my background is I went to school for accounting. I have lots of bank experience. I've worked in 4 big banks, one big international bank, Barclays Bank, back home for so many years. And then in Canada, I worked for TD BMO in Scotia. And I'm an advocate for intergenerational wealth. I really want people to have wealth in the family, empower the family to be well-to-do. Because when I grew up, we didn't have much. So if we had started somewhere better way than we started, I think we could have done way better. So that's why I'm an advocate for intergenerational wealth. And that's about me. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, wow. Congratulations on 41 years of being married. That's incredible. The other day, I was arguing with someone that it's not possible to stay that long with anybody. What are the secrets? How do you sleep and wake up with the same guy for 41 years? What's the secret? How did you do it?
We met in high school. Honestly, I don't know, sometimes when you start that young, they say it doesn't last. But we thank God for all the wisdom. We can't really say there's a secret, but it's all about it's give and take in a relationship. And it's a lot of forgiving. It's a lot of understanding. It's a lot of also asking for forgiveness. So it's a lot of just giving and taking, not just holding your hand to take, but it's a lot of also giving. What do I mean by that? You learn to grow together. It's because you didn't grow with the same mother, you didn't grow in the same household. We just met in school and then thought we wanted to be together. At that time, it was just we loved each other. But we started planning about how many children we're going to have because we are both third born children. I am third born in my family. So we were like, we should at least have 3 children. Otherwise, if we have 2, then it means we would never be born and would never meet. So it was our wish to have 3 children at that younger age, and we ended up having 3 children. But it almost didn't happen because my pregnancies were so difficult. So between the last one and the second one, it's like almost 7 years difference. We thought we were done with the 2 boys, but then the daughter came, and it was a surprise and a blessing. But there's no secret. It's just believing in the other person, that they are putting their interests or both of your interests in their heart, and they are doing the same. And then you work together in everything you do. I'm huge in finances. I'm not judging people. I don't judge people, but I never had a situation where I would have a secret bank account. Everything was open. We were just open with what we were doing with finances. And many times, finances where all the problems come from. Most of the problems come from money. Yeah. So it's a learning. It's a huge journey, and a lot of learning, and maybe a lot of teaching as well. The other person, and so it's not just one thing, but the main thing is a lot of faith in your relationship, and then a lot of faith that God wants you to stay together.
So after 41 years together, are you finishing off each other's sentences? Are you looking like twins with your approach?
We,
Your
it's like
approach to life?
we know we may not finish each other's sentences, but it's like if someone says something, you can tell that they are not giving you everything. They are not telling the everything, the truth.
Mm,
If they give you another a certain look, you know they are mad, or if they answer in a certain way, you know they didn't like your whatever you said. Or if you, it's like you come to know this person so well, but God is full of surprises. You still up to this age, we still learn a lot of things from each other.
okay. Okay. In your introduction, you talked about intergenerational wealth, and I know this is something you're passionate about because I've heard you severally talk about intergenerational wealth. What is intergenerational wealth, and what should we be doing to make sure our generations have that kind of wealth?
Intergenerational wealth, it's the way I see it, it's not just putting money in a savings account for your child. It's actually starting with talking about money on dining room tables, starting from teaching them how to even save the little they get, not just saving money, but just be conservative with anything, food, not wanting the lavish stuff, not wanting anything that will actually take away money from the family. I'm not saying they should be deprived of other things that other children might have, but they need to learn from a younger age that it's not about having a lot of clothes in your closet. It's not about having a lot of pairs of shoes. It's not about buying everything that is coming out in fashion. It's just about having everything in moderation, just what is enough that you need. Because they say, I know this saying, I can't quote the person, but they say that you can judge a good man by the way he eats. If there is more on the plate, he just takes enough of what he needs, and then instead of taking a lot of food and then end up throwing it away, while other people could have eaten that food. So I'm saying it starts with us actually teaching them those little things that will actually build up into them knowing the importance of being conservative with money. And then as parents, we are the ones who are going to start building for them. And why are we teaching them when they are young? We are saying they are also going to teach their children, and then it goes on like that. And then whatever we are going to build, that's the plan. So we have a goal of making sure that we know about intergenerational wealth. We are actually planning, and then we have the plan of how we are going to do it. So we are going to start saving money for them, but we also need to be educating them so that by the time we leave that money, they know how to use it. It doesn't just falls on their lap. And then they know how to pass it on as well, because they can't be selfish on it's mine, I'm going to spend it all, when in the first place it was started off by someone. So we are saying if she starts a fund now for your daughter, you start a fund for your daughter is going to use enough, and then leave some for her daughter as well, and their daughter as well. That's what we are talking about, intergenerational work, that you build this bag of money that is, she can't finish it, she'll give it to the next person. I'm not talking about millions, but it's how it's relative. It's just what you need, but leaving it over for the other people, for the other generations. And then if you build millions, it's even better, because that's what we are talking about.
Hmm. I see what you mean, and that's beautiful. And so you're saying be intentional about your money, teach your children, and make it conversational, make it a reality. The problem I think with some of us is we're always struggling. You know, a lot of us are just barely getting by. But it's not impossible. I say it's not impossible. It's not impossible. My next question is: what things are most important to you now? Can you describe the things that are most important to you?
Yeah, just to comment on your when you said most of you are struggling. When you build intergenerational wealth, you start with the very small, but it's the time that you spend on building it. It's if you start it early, then you are building it in a long time. Then you find out that you build something that is really big out of something that is small. But to answer your question now, what I do now is that what was the question? What?
Oh, sorry. So no, sorry. I meant. Sorry. The question was, what sort of things are important to you now?
Okay, yeah, the things that are important to me now is sharing with people what I know now, what I should have known when I was their age, what I didn't know, because people need to know things when they are every level of your life when you are living. You need to know what will make you better in your life, what will make you happier. So what is important to me now is to share knowledge as much as I can. And while I'm sharing, I also learn a lot, because uh, if you are teaching something, you'll be learning even more about it, such that when people will notice a difference when you start teaching, and then they meet you 3 years later. When they are talking to you, they even notice that you are even saying it well, way better than when you started. So now I would like to continue showing other people, sharing information, teaching them on how to be better financially, how to make your family be well off before you leave this earth. It's on you.
Mm, mm. You're right. Actually, it's in the things we do every day. Sharing knowledge at the foundation. Sharing knowledge is our vision. Actually, is the mission. So when you look back at your life, what's been your happiest or proudest moment?
I've been proud. Like this Sunday, I was so proud that I looked at myself. I was got married early, but I was a sister, and then I became a wife. I became a daughter-in-law to some parents, to his parents, and then I became a mom to my kids, and then I was a sister-in-law, and I'm an aunt, and now I'm a grandma. And when we were celebrating, our grandson was there. He was so happy. He doesn't really understand what 41 years is, but he understands that grandma and grandpa have been together for a long time. And so I've been blessed, and I can't say I'm proud because I made it happen, but I'm proud that I believe in my God who has blessed me with all these blessings,
Mm,
and I've done my fair share of trying to raise our kids well. Um, we're doing my best, and now I'm showing them even better ways of so that they can be better off than me when I was their age. I didn't know what I know now, but now I'm empowering them with that information, which is what I'm proud of now, that I can actually help my immediate family to be better than me when I was their age.
mm. I suppose the next question will be, when you think about your legacy or your philosophy, your life views, your philosophy. Can you describe that to us in a nutshell?
Yeah, it's about my legacy. I would like to leave something that will make generations in my family remember me. Not that I want to be popular, or I want them to remember that I really cared about them so much. I remember when I was young, my grandmother would always pray for all her children, which included my father. Even my grandmother from my mother, they did the same. They would pray for all their children, and then they'll pray for all us grandkids, and then they'll pray for. So it was a long prayer when we were about to sleep. I didn't like that prayer when we were going to sleep. It was a long prayer. She
I
would
know
pray
that
for their
prayer.
kids, and my grandmother from my mother's side, she had 7 kids. From my father's side, she had
Oh,
5 kids. So
yeah.
she would pray for all 5 kids, and they all their children, and then their children's children. She didn't know them. Some she knew them, but
Mm,
now it's making sense that that's legacy. She left us a legacy. She blessed us, and I was blessed. Now it's making sense to me why she was having that long prayer. At that time, I didn't like it. I hated it. But now it's making sense that we should always wish and do good for the generations to come. That's a legacy. You're going to leave something people will remember you by. And if they need to know your name, that, oh, our great grandmother was Nomsa, just, oh, what was your name again, grandma? Mom, they don't even care. So it's, if you don't have to leave money, but they need to know you for something that you have done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so it's something that I really, and then my philosophy is I need to do things to people that I want them to do to me. So I try by all means not to expect other people to do things that I can't do for them. So I always want to be fair, and the biblical way, like, do unto others as you would want them to do to you. So that will make me a person. I'm not saying I'm a very nice person, but I try. That will make me a person who tries to be fair on others, who tries not to judge others, who tries. But I'm human. Sometimes I fail the test, but I try to. That's my philosophy. That I need to be someone who leads by example, not just do as I say.
I mean, a lot of the things you said there, it resonates with me because I grew up in Nigeria, spent the first 20 years of my life. So I know these prayers, you sleep during the prayers, you wake up and the prayers are still.
And my grandmother would say, you need to kneel.
Yeah.
She knew you'd be sleeping. And then even when we are kneeling, I'll be sleeping. And then she would push me over when the prayer is done.
And those kind of sleep were the sweetest, you sleep. And I know
I'm actually wishing she was here and we could pray together. But at that time, I was like, I don't like this.
I know. So before we end off, we'll ask you to leave us a blessing because we can agree that the parents' blessing is important, isn't it?
Yes.
I want to ask you about how you fared during the pandemic. I know everything is opening up now. Was it yesterday, a couple of days ago? I went to some place to eat, and it shocked. It felt surreal that there were people outside, in the restaurant, and we were eating. I just could not believe how fortunate I was to be in that gathering. How did you cope?
I did the same on Sunday when our son said, actually, they were texting their dad saying, we have a group on WhatsApp, and they were saying Happy Father's Day, Happy Father's. So their dad said, no, remember, it's our wedding anniversary too. So I'm not going to celebrate by myself. So they said, our son said, okay, because they were all coming over. So they texted each other, I think the two kids. And then our son said, oh, let's meet at my house, come to my house. So just be there by 6. We thought maybe they cooked or something. But then he took us to this fancy restaurant in downtown Edmonton. And we sat on the outside. It was nice, and we could have sat inside, but we wanted to sit outside. And people were there, social distancing, and we had good food, and we fellowship from 6 to 9. It was fun, and it has been the first time we have gone out together since the pandemic. We have never gone out together as a family. We just meet here and eat or go to their house, but it was nice. And yes, we were affected by the pandemic for sure. It's something new, and social distancing isolating was difficult, but we adapted quickly. My husband and I, we adapted quickly. We work from home. We used to work from home part-time, and we had an office that we used to go to, but now we are working from home full-time, and we adapted quickly. The good thing is my husband was using Zoom already for his work. Okay. So he taught me how to use Zoom for our meetings. And now here we are, we don't drive at all. But before the COVID, we used to drive. That was our business. We would drive to one place, and then before you get there, the appointment is canceled, and you just turn around, make a U-turn and come and try to go another appointment, and then you are running late. But now it's just like, oh, let's Zoom. And the business has become easier as well. Not that we like the pandemic, but the business is easier because now people have time. They most of them, they are watching Netflix on weekends. They don't do they're not going out. So if you ask them to look at their finances, they just say, oh, sure, I have 20 minutes. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise. And we are teaching more people. So it has been a challenge, but we quickly adapted it because one, it was scary because you could catch a virus and die. So that's what made us put on the masks and go grocery shopping, do it as quickly as you can and go out of the store. So, but we were not used to that rush and that limiting of not going to the mall. And when even I don't really go to malls, but when you are told you can't go, that's when you want to go.
It's true.
So everything was kind of limiting and stuff, but for the better. Now here we are getting used to it, and I think it's going to be our normal life now. Things will be back to normal, but not back where we are. It has changed a little bit, and we have to adapt to the new norm, so to speak. Yeah.
I hear you. I absolutely hear you. It's when they say don't do something, don't go to the US and you want to go to North Carolina. Don't go swimming. That's when you want to run laps at the gym.
Yeah.
You're missing the fact that you're at the gym, the recreational card which you never used.
Yeah, like myself, I don't like crowds much, and I'm not a fan of West Edmonton Mall. But now I was like, I wish I could just go in that mall and walk around the mall, get tired. And
I hear you. So I take it you do a lot of things with your husband. So is it fair to assume when it comes to mental health, renewal, looking after the inside of yourself, you would have done that together? What did you do for your mental health during the pandemic?
my husband and I, we used to do some in the morning. We have a routine that we wake up in the morning, do some praying, do looking at goals, doing this, and then we also sometimes we go on we follow Leslie. I don't know. We do some walking exercises watching on YouTube. So we just do
Who's
exercise.
Leslie? Who's Leslie?
Leslie, what's Leslie's last name? It's I'll give it to you, but she's a walker. She walks.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's the lady who does it. She's just walking and doing some exercise. So we just instead of walking outside, sometimes she recommends you walk with her so that you can exercise the whole body, like lifting your arms and stretching and all this. Because when you are walking a regular walk, you don't do that.
Yeah.
So that's what we do for our to relieve some stress. And we though they say don't watch Netflix, sometimes we treat ourselves to Netflix movie in the evening, something like that. We just try and take it easy and don't think a lot about a lot of things.
Okay. Okay, that's all sounding good. That's sounding good. Well done. The final question I have for you is if you were to leave a message for each of your children and grandchildren and put in a time capsule for them to read 20 years from now, what would you write to them?
I would teach them what I call renting to own. Rent to own. What do I say? It's good to someone to go to school and get a degree because you learn a lot while you're in the process of getting your degree. If you are doing accounting, you do electives, you do things like art appreciation, all sorts of things that you might never learn, and it's good for you. And then it's also good to work, to go in the workforce, be an employee, so that you see how people work. In preparation for yourself, if you start your own business, I would tell them it's good to do all that, but don't dwell much on being an employee because you'll be building someone's dreams. You need to start on building your dreams early enough. Do your own business. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying in renting to own, you rent all those skills and all those knowledge and that, so that you can apply it to when you own. When you build your own business, then you have leadership skills, you have information, you are intellectual, you can talk up to anyone, You don't have to be limited to accountants. If you're an accountant, you just know how to deal with people, because most of these businesses are, it's about dealing with people.
Mm,
So that will equip you while you're preparing for your business, to start your own business. That's why I'm saying I'll teach them about rent to own, and don't take too long while you're renting. You need to go to move on to ownership now.
mm, mm. Mrs. Maromo, you've spoken with wisdom. You are a mom, you're a grandmother. I want you to leave us with a blessing. The parents' blessing that I dodged all my life is coming to me today. Let's leave us with a blessing.
Yeah, I would. My favorite verse is 1 Corinthians 10, chapter verse 13. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. It's talking about whatever temptation you are going to meet in your life. It's not unique to you. It has been, someone has heard that before, and God has already prepared your way out. So you should not just focus on what is happening, because you know what, T, some of the things that are bad happen just before something good happens. So that means whatever is bad happens for you, not to you. So we need to actually think like that, because many times, me included, when something bad is happening, I'm always focusing on that. Why me? Why? And crying like. But if you think, if you look closely, you always get out of it anyway, whatever situation it is. You
Mm,
always get out of it, no matter how bad it is. Recently in March, we lost my father-in-law, and then 10 days later my mother-in-law passed away. That was so painful and difficult to
mm,
comprehend as a family. And we thought it, we were never going to go through all this, but now it's like it happened some time ago. The healing, the peace in the family, God has provided. He knew our way out. So we are saying, I'm just saying, just work with the moment, just embrace any
mm,
gift that God gives you, whether you think it's bad, but according to Him, it's not bad. He knows what He's doing. He's in control.
mm, 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 mm. Oh wow, thank you very much. That spoke to me personally. I want to say thank you, Mrs. Maromo, for coming on the show and for being a friend of LCC Media. No time we've called upon you, you've always answered, and I pray that God's blessings will always, follow you and all of yours. In Jesus' name, Amen.
I receive, and yes,
Amen.
I wish I was doing better when you call upon me in LCC Media. But now my schedule is getting better. Now I think I'll do better. If you call upon me now, I will help more than what I.
We still have the
You're
weekly
just a nice, you're
painting.
just a nice person, T. But
It's okay. It's okay. There's no pressure. We have the Saturday painting, which we hope at some point before it rounds up,
yeah, I love that
you'll be
art.
content.
So I'll buy my kit, and then Saturday we are doing it. But yeah, thank you so much for having me. And it's always it's always an honor when I meet with you, because you you give me so much respect that I don't deserve.
No, don't say that, Mrs. Maramo. Well, anyway, we love you. Thank you so much. I gotta let you go. Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
we
Bye.
hope to see you
Take care.
next time. Yeah, bye bye.
Bye.